b'umugusi. Mwanchumo warigereria na gukwandira ndonsi asore mbiyamo na soko choregeta seni kiga kiagogia Nsoko TV asobot kobo igabo kianda motinyino ikome na kabero mwaka no igwechiri bubere 25 Ensa na Eyemo ya bono botuko kurwa sobo gatagati mu cyo Nairobi aiga sense ya Kenya kurwa ndonsi asore na kwariga ndinde tusange na komanya na raria ya aenekiwe ase ritukeriga na boigo na raria ya abariki baito bamangana basangiriri kurwa semambi yarenge entambe mwanchumo rigereria obotuko bwara boigo ntochigotwara abagani ase studio habo turache kuba tugusanga mange ekubwatekana na aria kubwatekana ne chisemi ase chinsemo ona nemo nase abaruki bari banyare ko baba gukora chisemi chiabo chechi skuru chechi secondary ase obotuko bwarero turache gusanga nababwatari kurwase skuru eri emanyekaine buna Valerian Medical Training College egotoka sensemo ya Nakuru Salga akirogoturu parene kurwase county ya Nairobi goika ase area ya Nakuru. James Matonyei oyoromo director bwe skuru yo na boigo Winfrida Kirubo oyamubo bwatani ase skuru ntuchiko sangana baro kumanya bari bakore chiseme cyabo cye skuru cye secondary na rariya babwenete kubwatia kurwaru kugendera ne chiseme cyabo gwikaranso ikene gati ya turachiko sanga asobut ko bwarero mesema ya kurenso kensemo achakirbo. Karibu sana. Wana mwancho murigarira togo chakana roboti rogo ichania rokopwatia somo ichano nigo bono bwatanse omugasorero hime yomo chibuo gembo ewodi abo chitendere nse mu bunge abo machoge bora bwase county ya Kisii maiga yomogaka bwe miaka ya igatwa gotoka gasireti obogima bwaye chingaki hanyara ko bakago etera boseka gotoka ase igesima kia machaime okwana Nsoko TV ya Mateyo mogako yo umanyekaine buna Evans Oyaro nigo bono aenekia buna nyagosira ni gataro chekaine kurwa rituko ria igoro goikira bono buna bacha konyora chiro bote buna nigo asireti obogima bwaye Dominic Onderi agotumanya senchiro gwikira
Omubere bw'umusacha yo mwasirite Evans Oyaro nigo toka imegesima gichinyumba cyoko menyeme yo Chibuogembe county ya Kisii asekagire buna nigo nyagosira aswete ko rusiye ke byuki yagwete imegesime keiga asomo nyene chinyumba chiga atwerese buna niga kora mwanya gosire ke baro yo ko rusiye ke byegesime keme asabo igato manyinga tamanye tichinga kinyagosira chite ko rusiye ke byekeiga
abamenye tabakanga kirenga ke byuki liki abutokire ki achirensa Oyaro nkorandu seriali bona agachikorusi igorona binamwa kerete simya ja kurusi bona kerna ja bono mambya nanyora kianga kiaye kira hachigo cheke nanyora umuberole kurinde bagenda bumo clan elda chako erongo so sabani korali teri tukulitangani korarusi ya
tobolete chinsa chia maragoba chakera saa 10 saa 11 ase family na litobu tamorochi kolende yaikire bono mambi tokurangirwa ngano ala sigisimama ntura nyora chance obiyanga igintu kiamore nteta sigisimama angireki ne kireki amore kiageretaga kukurwa sigisimama angireki ntura manyango yo balenge ko magwe esega sine kire nginoruri yo kolendo monyene chinyombe cyatotebiringa nero murangiriti amorenta baje ko kolega sinere
amatenya gosire yasabire serikali gukora butukibwa yasenchira bwango elikomanya ekere tobogima bomwanchio base bona batarayigena ekekore keiga
engole ye okoranga yalenge gwasi ekerutwaicha konyorore ere gwasi naende asago tebekana ite tugucho negento kitekenyerere sana ekebuchero gyoka kego swaime kibono tutusinyire kumanyanga ngakyumuntu ali konyarekana aiti kupaka tokeime nyonyene ngolie kungusa mache kurume yalengo abantu aiga samenye tonde tayo totebeti oyo muigorrete agaswaime ntura tebiwa kolende twatigire police etotebia mangana yuwe kitokora
umubero nyagosira nigo rusi gwasegesime kigana gokobo chia senkeni nyagitari ene ogembo kirabono botukibene bwacha kigwe Kuripoti rigeteseni kiago na Eyemo Ensoko TV kurogige umachiboge mbogo toka gaigase ward ya bochitendere bunge ya Machoge Chache County ya Kisii. Ritarane Dominic Onderi Nyabuto.
Wanchomorigari ya togos kabosio ni gobono humu MCA we wodi yerigoma Mheshimiwa Nyambega Gisesa asabira bamenyi be county Nyamira goso ase chisako au herio kwegenderia ane monase bono hanyare ko bagotebe serikali county Nyamira niyo yabekire ensemo emilioni emo yokogendere merobiriyo ka ukona se abisi yerigoma heyo gotoka se ensemo yebunge ya Kitutu Masaba ase county yo Mheshimiwa Gisesa ni gobona atebirenge county Nyamira nigo yaegwa esiro na bono nigebegete merobiriyo yogoche kubwata sia barimi ekonyara ko baba kwegenderia muri Kito Steven agotomanya senchiro bwikira
muna enjere Eyemo yoko basira bamenyi ba Nyamira kebesa nigo MCA werigoma Mheshimiwa Nyambega Gisesa esokiriye na gosaba bamenyi weso yasi chisako eri serikali ye county ya Nyamira ebatotereri shilingi emilioni Eyemo igoro yaye
asiri ta Nyambega Gisesa MCA werigoma ward ditkoriya rero nande twatware meeting yarigoma ward community development sako naba tureti right once naba kampito once ngancho MCA werigoma ward nandi ngantu county ya Nyamira twatetia abantu baito on the need yogo sako gose korore na kitora kinde gochimutu papa se meeting mukonya wate abantu baito kono ndo wate sako asemo go save ngago go save 1 million shillings na ntu account ko project to wate or comment to another 1 million shillings and they are very proud whatever such ward 20 Nyamira county rigoma ward ya qualify among the first 10 aba irechiwe secho kulono cha se members babo ona bongo te andu bitamanya byasara abari onde boens pio korara siende onse
asomoroberio yonge wase wodi yerigoma ibere gati echi wodi 10 chiangere korwari kabesao nigo esegeto yabe kruasa barimi weso kya sobonge eri kwerikia na konyore siro ya chinsiaga emetanane chindani gati emeroberiende bekirense ya serikali ya county ya Nyamira
agrete ne bate emeroberio menge tuwate grant kia gracha ekitoto kwa abantu chinsiaga kuja kwa bato richingo ko emetana artificial links chirichogo rosi chinsu bane chida mungo rostore chiprode ne chinge chire njanyoru wake lakini chance rwansa bani ngase wodi chigenderete to babekira abantu bari mchindani chinge ya alongside kunya go promote and mass band maite influence to kora in the last financial year korana kibori mboito weme wa ufugaji wa wanyama na crops woko gendera kuchimu
Nyambega Gisesa nigo baigate birenga nigo county yabekire umuroberio boko gare ichiciro hanena mono ase wode rigoma na boigo ase bunge ya Kitutu Masaba eriyo kwene kinga umurimi konyorare echiro ase akuoneria ebimeri byaye
ase county ngonya karostore cold storage facilities nebintu binde bira support ndo value chains kero wasi mikire bintu na kitoko provided market Kentekia to Arosre market gari keroka konya bari maito and want to expand the same Arimita Mayo junction. We are doing a small market so ndio tuanze tobeka se Messi na matoke ne bintu binde for travelers para ndo chi Nairobi bago pikirikoro na kerebe se achire bayetumie buye banya go save they continue saving kiri konya kwa invest and kwa kiri konya reproof to save because money is there abantu mbara very beneficiaries na so nchiro ron kwa te batu aromo yo and when encourage yake na kwanza that's a culture.
Steven Nyarikie Mbonde Ensoko TV rigoma county ya Nyamira.
Emolo morikito Steven Nyariki kurwa se county ya Nyamira tugoskabosyo tora na se county ya Kisii mwancho morigaria abamenyi bensemo ya Gembe igotoka sensemo ya bunge abo Machoge bora bwa se county ya Kisii igoba sokire na koro kyo gotaisaneka kwabo igoro yokubora kokwaga gwe school yo bobundi asensemo yo igobana baye sabira serikali kwango yemeroberio yokubamanya ninki kegendera gwikira boniga bataragachirwa school yo yaire emyaka 15 gesa ebe gobusegesa yatebwa unanechi kwagachwa se chinsemo cyo mulikito wikli forenge na arenga sayo na bono robotiro ya senchiro bwikirana
Nabamenyi bensemo ya Igembe igotoka magena ensemo ya bunge ya Machoge barabu county ya Kisii
mubo ngampora gusempa kortigentoki
ubesokire irikorobekana asogotesaneka kwabo iguru yo kubura kukwagacha we skuru y'obundi asensemeyo
kungaina nayo kurarose ikorarose ngaki ya narose restandari boiyo ekarakia ka bari ompa sambro botakartiga ntoki ekomite kagenda ekacho ekakora research ekareta oburimo bakartiga ntoki boro ekara twale to buri murende tukaira so mwesi migo rengo rangarende enamba buri mumware bateba twabanya asenga tore political government serikali ya kisiasa nande kigakuro tacho kekatori batu aligeta magana ekarukubu machoge borabu kwene technical institute amangana achiro ku mwaka 2010 na ye mwaka 2025 myaka yenga rote yayo
asengenche yo nigo banyara ko baba gwaisokya irikorobekana ikorokia ogotesaneka kwabo
bona igetina kumbiria ko eriete ligese magana gesaba ku mwali ruete number 1 esenge ko ntu ya ndire wako ambo kwano mwaka ege tukiriya kabere emwaga ndalia Mochi cha senga nto igule ngente kanande kia unjo kurwa kia chire moino make ligeze ko kinigwa aipata na soma yes
waigo nigo bagoserere buna nigo barache kugenderera kurobekana guika bamanyi gwiguru ya skuru eyo yali Ombasa Technical
iko tolega moto ali chi biloko tabanga ekwende ito tara ibukuru kweka no eli bito boro ni moche ndikoro na bako sibo bolimu
onyana boni go mokonyi bo chief wensemeyo abasaba bamenyabo uterera chinkoro cyabo nonyene yakero bagenda tukorotota amangana institute eyo
Oro bako represented wanafuatilia wako wale wakufuatilia mbakana teki mbaro naande mbale kebe bokomanya kigakala teki naande komente nya maramba sebinyo aseke nyoro jaito gai neba ingana moko iguti rumas mo basa okala rumas mo basa ko wachi embe ya mangata mo ma tembe ya mangata nera
bako machoga bo na maate barukwa bo maate ko bo chibomba ba machoga bo ejaru ko machoga bomba ba ekoroba chikokora mate ndige gekabanga bono muntu yo kusarenda robole umuntu kusarenda robole moningo no mukubu runs utendeta amaremo the western region akatoe notice akateba tare tisa ngo chare site achikokora gentoki achikoena nobole
bono obotoereru nigo bogonairie asensemeyo na serikali kwangu yemerobiryo je komanya amenyabo iguru yeskuru eyo yali Ombasa inkuripoteri Nsoko TV ko Eyembe magena ensemo yebunge mochago barabu e county ya Kisii ereteriane Wycliffe Orenge
Mancho murigaria totigarete hase ensemeyo yechisemi bona bunenchira yamo yokubwaterana hegati yeskuru yokoena na amaigerio yobobundi ya Kisii na boigo eskuru ya amaigerio ya Signet Institute kurwa senseri ya Australia nigo ritukoria rero babekire essay yokubwaterana herigo chigo chaka amaigerio yobobundi ya kerengo kigoro herio konyore meremo chinse chisco no moiga horagwa no ambassador bwensi ya Kenya gochia senseri ya Australia Dr. Wilson Kogo uyo singera buna nigo bono bosenigo wa masoma yo yekerero arachiko bakonya basae kurikwa meremo chinse chisco Marke manabu skuru yobobundi ya Kisii Jona Kola nigo bono ha kirembu ya mono hasoko bwatira no koiga asabe bori babo rigo kwane kya buna bana babo nkweri kya bare asomoro beri yo bachikonyorera chisemecho muri kitopetwel machini nagotomanya senchiro bwekera
Muninchiremo yo kwenekea basaingo nyarabara maigere na boiga masomo haraba konye kwirike miremo anemono chinsi chisi kona bwigensi ya Kenya Nigolsukerero Ambassador bwensi ya Kenya guchinsi ya Australia Dr. Kogo arengo magana bwisi kaso kubekwese yo kuigwana na nekyombiga Signet Institute Australia amane skuri yobundi ya Kisii erekwenekea borukwa nkonyara balego kore miremo chinsi chaisko.
We are positioning Kenya in such a way that going into the future then we can tap into the low-hanging fruits in every other region, not just Australia alone. But as I'm talking to you, we have very good relationship with Australia, and we are thinking that if we did very well in the area of training and make sure that our training is up to the global standards, up to the Australian accreditation, then definitely going into the future, labor mobility will be a reality. And this is where we are focused on.
Okwa nasi skuru yo nigo Dr. Kogo asingiriro buya bwa masomo amaya yekerero erego ikera chinse chaisko asamabaga yemeremo asabasae.
We must not think average. We must be able to think that it is possible to move to the next level. But the enabler here is education, having the right training. So if we are going to be Singapore tomorrow and the days to come, which I believe is possible, then we must be able to make sure that our youth can be enabled to participate in supporting the economy and also make sure that they get opportunities not only here but also outside there.
Sense maya mwarokyo manene bwe skuru ya Kisii National Polytechnic John Akola nigo ariganire kubwatirana uko na signet edio koro siamabaga mange yemera masabasae.
We are really happy to have our ambassador here, and we want to thank the government of Australia and also the government of Kenya for this partnership that we have at Kisii National Polytechnic and Signet Institute of Australia. This is a partnership that is going to create more opportunity for our young people within the region to get jobs outside the country and also skill them even for the local industry. We are very grateful to the ministry for giving us support so that we can be able to sign agreement and collaborations with Signet Institute of Australia.
Mobisa bobwerenia bwe skuru ya Signet Institute Mr. Ali nigonere asingirire buna okonyora emirimo chinse chisiko wika abasaye baigwe amageri abwenrete yekerero.
But when we talk about labor mobility, it should be powered by skilled recognition. Otherwise, labor mobility won't work. So we need to give them skilled, which is recognized across the world. That's why Signet is here, to deliver that qualification at a fraction of price at home in Kenya, at Kisii Polytechnic and other 7 polytechnics that we partner with. So we are very proud that we are part of this bigger picture where Kenya is trying to move up with the skilled labor going abroad and bringing opportunities back home.
Asibono abaiboli baborigo kolika bana babo asemoroberio yo.
The people within the region, we call upon you that you bring as many Kenyans youth who are willing to come and study here. We are running the second cohort, which will start in January. The current cohort that we have comprises of about 22 trainees who are actually undergoing the training for 52 weeks. And after 52 weeks, they'll be able to be awarded different skills with accreditation from the Australian government. And therefore, they are able to work, be employed, and get job visas to Australia.
Kupotiria Ensa TV kurwasi skuru yobobundi ya Kisii Chepethuel Machin.
Bemana muri kitopethuel Machini no roboti rwa senchira yobo ikirano mwanchu muri gato boskabosio ekyombe egekwegera ho bwenda bwa mwanya bantu kya Kenya National Commission on Human Rights kyanariko bagikubwata ko roboti rwa eru mwako yigabwikirubere 25 gukwana kurwa somochi o Nairobi asomo bagani Eyemo ningabara ibekyombe kyo banyariko babagwesokya nakote buna kira omo Kenya ningabwente konyora obwene bwaye buna lichiko likoteba ase katiba abara yabo boigoni gobono bagikeire chiburaburu icho cyane kiwasoba chori bakebwaeta ase boigobono bamochirie eserekali nekyombe kirikyo bochori yechimbebe nechimbebe kya IEBC ase ogotarwa
The commission documented 57 violations on the right to life. These include the killing of a human rights defender, one Richard Otieno in Molo. There was a question on the number of deaths in the by-election, and we've documented 3. So 2 of them were from Kasipul, Kabondo, during the by-elections. And then there was one there was a 70-year-old in a stampede in Kabuchai. So those are the 3 deaths that we've been able to document. 2 in Kasipul and 1 in Kabuchai.
The commission monitored these by-elections and they were kept out of 2 tallying centers, Chicago Primary School in Mbeere North and Mumboni Northward. They were kept out of those tallying centers, and therefore we cannot make a decision on whether the elections were free and fair because we were denied.
Mancho murigeria tutigaritase ngane yo kwegera obwene bwa mwanyabanto nigo bono oborai bose obwene bwa abananchi ase chinse au nigo rogendrete konekiwa ase abananchi abange bagendrete kuborwa konyora obwene bwabo ase bona barwandiri nobwegereri bobwene bwa mwanyabanto baesokire na goteba nigo chiserikali chichinse au chibwente kobeka hemeroberi yo kwenekia buna nkubarendere abananchi babo na kwenekia buna nkonyora bare obwene bwabo buna ikatiba egoteba.
Now Africa is at crossroads. This year's report paints a sobering picture. Many African states remain classified as repressed or closed. And we know where we are. That the struggle for civic freedoms in Africa is nothing less than the struggle for the soul of our nations. So it's in a context where our governments are deliberately ignoring domestic, municipal, and international law in dealing with citizens. So this is intentional, not anything accidental. What is the meaning of civic freedom today? Civic freedom is not an abstract concept. It is the air that democracy breathes. Journalists face surveillance, physical attacks, and criminalization for doing their jobs. When the press is intimidated, truth becomes a casualty. And when people fear their own government, nationhood collapses.
We have attacks on journalists, documented in at least 16 countries. Uganda is increasingly becoming one of those countries where the attacks on journalists are being increasingly documented. So what happens is journalists go to either cover protests, journalists go to cover rallies, electoral rallies, and sometimes even just events such as football matches. And they are attacked either by security officers or also by just citizens in general.
The key issues across 33 countries, attacks on journalists in at least 16 countries, and therefore you're here not just to take account of this great day, but also to note that you are a voice that has to continue pushing back. The media has to continue pushing back, and we really just want to thank you for the role that you play.
The securities agents, because these are the enablers of these abductions. Without the telephone companies, there is no way they can be able to track the movements. So as we are dealing with the state repression, let us also deal with the enablers of the state repression. I just want to say that at this moment in time, I think it's about time that the people of East Africa came together as a way of insulating ourselves against bad governance.
There are technology companies that are enabling these violations. There are companies, corporate companies that are enabling these violations and all that. So there is also, we should also focus intensely on enablers of state repression. Technology companies, corporate companies, and other actors behind the state that actually enable these violations.
Mancho morigeria chidaika mirongevere na isatu chapto kirigoro Ensa Eyemo ya bono botuko no tuikira omwerio asensemiga entangani yemese maya korwa Ensa kobutuko buiga korende ensemo ya kabere korananda segeka gitari gitambe buna nachika okorira eira obutuko bwarero nimbwatabagani babere ase studio turachiko sanga ensemo bosenkwana iterachi komurekera chisemi obutuko bwarero turachiko sanga no director we school ya college ya maigerio yobobwene ya Valerian egotoka ase county ya Nakuru oyumbanyikane buna James Matonyei na boigo Winfrida Kerubo mubwatani bwa abatendribe school yo bachiko sangana into gotumanya nara yaya obakoreri bwe school iga nereri na boigo abaorokiwa ande mono bari bakorera chisemi cyabo chechi secondary miroberi chisemi barache konyora ase school gotoskare korana nda ase kagetari getamba sensemo ya kabere nabagani bana ase studio.
Eye Nensoko TV. Uboroso bw'umugusi.